Hello.
Hi. How's it going?
It's good. It's good. How are you?
Yeah, I've met some interesting people. I've listened to some interesting conversations. It's been neat. It took me a little while to get the hang of this, all the clicking and the how do I send a private message and how do I yeah, so it's all good. It's great. How's it going from your end?
Pretty good. There was like a rush at the very beginning,
Yeah. Yeah.
but now things are going smoothly. So that's very
Awesome.
exciting. Yeah, I'm
Awesome.
excited for things to sort of slow down so that I get the chance to go to all the booths and
To
meet
go visit a
everyone.
little bit as well. Yes, that sounds great. Awesome. Well, let's
Yeah.
see what happens. Oh, there are some people here, right?
There are.
But we don't see them. How come when I click people, I don't see them?
Are you in the session tab?
Yes, I am.
So there's us two, and there's Melissa, and there's someone else, but I don't see them either. Maybe it'll upload if we give it a second.
Oh, okay.
Or,
Because on the
update,
top
rather.
of the screen, it says 2 out of 8, right?
Yeah.
Who are on the camera.
Yeah.
But then we don't see 6 names here on the side.
No. Oh, okay. So I see what you're saying. So
Oh.
that the 8, that's the maximum number of people that can be on the screen at once.
Oh, got it. Okay.
Yeah. So if during your presentation
realize
someone
that.
wants to ask you a question and get on the screen, they'll appear in the moderation panel. So there's no
Got
one
it.
requesting access right now. But if
Yeah.
there were, they'd appear there, and you can admit up to 8 people, including us two,
Yeah.
on the screen.
Oh, neat.
Yeah.
Huh.
And then
Okay.
the little eye icon next to it, that 4, that's how many people are at your booth.
At my
right now.
booth?
Oh, not at your booth. Sorry. In your session.
I was like, wait, hang on. I'm not at the booth. I should go to the booth. Finally, there's people there. I've been hanging out there and like, no one. I'm like, okay, maybe I'll go visit a booth. And then, so I'm like, oh my God, finally someone's at the booth and I'm here. I'm at the wrong spot.
No. Sorry,
That's
I
all
meant in your session.
Yeah, it's all good. No
Yes.
problem at all.
Okay. So for those who are already here, the 2 people that are already here, we'll start in just a minute. So I'll give a really short introduction, but then I'll pass it right on to you, and
Sounds
you can take it away. Tell us the story of the tool library.
Yes, loved it.
Yes. What booths have you had a chance to visit?
I chatted with the ladies from the Center for Feminist Research. I forgot the acronym.
Yeah, Korea.
Korea, that's right. Yes. And I just listened to the woman who does the children's innovation thing. That she's doing this amazing music project up in Nunavut. I was like, oh my God, it's such a cool story. That's why I was just now Lindsay, I think her name was. And
Yeah.
talked to the hub people. So yeah. It's neat. It's lovely. And I've seen some people who I know. So it's kind of go, oh, nice to see you here too, which is lovely. So yeah.
Oh, very cool. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So we've got a couple of people here. So why don't we get started? So, bonjour tout le monde. Hi everyone. Bienvenue à notre session sur les biblios de partage. So welcome to the session on sharing libraries. We are so honored to have Bettina here to tell us about her experience starting up the Ottawa Tool Library, which is like a staple of Ottawa, honestly, an institution. So without further ado, I'll pass it over to Bettina. I'll turn off my video, but I'm here. I'm here in the chat.
Right. That's
all
awesome.
Right. Take it away.
So thank you. Well, welcome everybody. I would actually really, I hate speaking into a camera and there's no feedback. So can I please entice you to click the button on the top right that says ask for permission to join? Since we're just a small group, I would love to see you guys all. Like we're just going to be having a little conversation. Well, there's Melissa as well, right? Melissa and David, I think. Turn your camera on. Let's have a chat. Happy to share. So the Ottawa Tool Library is a library where you can borrow books instead of, where you can borrow tools instead of books. That's right. We got our start in 2014 when actually my friend Frederic Soon, whom I met at the Hub, which is why I joined the Hub kiosk and wanted to check in there. We were both Hub members and we decided to go for a beer. And had a little chat over a beer, and he lamented the fact that he had bought a tile cutter without knowing full well he'd never use it again, only to just do a little backsplash in his kitchen, and then it would sit in his basement. And that's exactly what was sitting. And so wouldn't there be a much better way to actually be able to borrow those tools? And so I was like, I know, I heard of tool libraries. It's such a great movement. And, you know, it's coming into Canada. The first one actually started in Vancouver in 2011. And this was 2014. And so we're like, Ottawa needs to get on this. Someone's got to do this. And we went actually, so we parted ways, and we thought, what a great idea. Someone else needs to do it. We don't have time for it. Hey, Melissa. And so I ended up actually going to Toronto 10 days later, and by chance only, and decided to check out the Toronto Tool Library, which at that time had 3 locations. And so I was very lucky the night I was there. I ended up chatting with both founders were there, and they gave me a fabulous tour. So I was completely taken. This is something Ottawa needs. We need to keep things out of the landfill. We need to start sharing resources in different ways than just one. Mostly people think of it as doing books, right? And it's like, oh no, there's so many more things we can share. There's cars and there's homes, mind you, Uber and not Uber, sorry, what's where you share your house? Airbnb, sorry, right? That's a platform, really. Someone else gets all the money, right? So it's like, that's a whole different story anyway. So we wanted to make it really accessible to be able to borrow tools. And so on the train ride back, I called Frederick. I was like, that's it. We got to do it. We just got to start at my little garage. Like, seriously, just small in a neighborhood. We can just be small. And so we decided then to actually test this idea, because we talked to a bunch of our friends, and lots of our friends were like, that's fantastic. I would use this, but we weren't sure if actually Ottawa was ready for that before we were going to put any much more work in it. So we tested it through a microgrant initiative called Soup Ottawa. It is all across the world, but thankfully there's some fabulous people here in Ottawa who actually organize them. Not right now because it's COVID times, but hopefully coming back soon. And that is where you buy a $10 ticket and you get soup served from that evening made by a local restaurant. And you listen to a presentation by there's a certain amount of people are invited to do a 5-minute presentation, and then followed by a 5-minute Q&A. And then people in the audience can ask all kinds of questions. So we presented that evening, and I have to say, Frederick and I were quite organized and ready, because we come from startup organizations. So we're like, okay, we got to have a rudimentary website. We've got to be able to do an intake. So if people want to sign up to newsletter and be informed about it. We had a little display table where we brought tools, where we had little sign up sheets. And if you want to help, how do you want to help? How do you want to get involved? And so that evening was a roaring success for us, no matter what, but we actually also won the prize that night. So that means at the end of the evening, everyone votes with a spoon. They put it in the little receptacles. I think this project deserves it, and this the other project. And then they count out, and then whoever has the most votes gets to take home all the money that was raised that evening. So if 50 people show up, it's $500. And so it's not really about them. Well, sure enough, I mean, we won $1,300, huge success. I mean, that's a lot of money. If you start now, you have zero money, that's a lot of money. But that's not enough money to sign a lease or in any way. But really what comes out of it, and that's what I truly believe in, is the community building and the networking. Because then you start talking to people, and someone knows so-and-so. And now that people already approach us and said, oh my God, my dad passed away. He would love for the tools to be used, because I can't use them. And where can I drop them off? We're like, whoa, we don't even have a location yet. No, we don't know. Maybe my house. Okay, sure, come to my house. So we didn't want to say no, right? We're like, well, the ball is starting to get rolling, so you don't want to say no at this time. So if people are keen on it, get them to come and join your team and come and contribute. Maybe it's donations, maybe actually they want to get involved and say, I'm going to help you organize this, or I'm going to do a tool drive for you, or I know someone in this area and you can go to this area and make other connections. So this micro grant event, Soup Ottawa, was tremendous for the success of the tool library. Through it, we were then covered in the media, we got exposure, more people joined online, more people wanted to come out and help. And so we held a bunch of tool drives, and then finally started cataloging into the tools. And really, to be honest, this microgrant initiative was in November. That's when we registered our organization, 2014. And then in the spring, we realized there's so much demand. We really got to move forward with this now. Also, Frederick and I both were really, the timing in our lives didn't really work out for various reasons. We're like, we got to move on this. And so that's some of the advice as well. Is like, if you find there's passion around you and other people want to join, you just got to roll with it, go with it, and things will fall into place. I was early on in a chat, and this woman was really thankful for serendipity, and that's really how it happened for us too. Because then when you get going and there's passionate people around you, people have an idea, or they have a connection, or they know where someone else can help you, and things will start to come together. So we decided, we had to look at various spaces, and we quickly realized, oh my God, rent is so expensive. How are we going to afford this? Like $1,300. Oh my God, hello. That's like, rent is more than that. Like, whoa. And so we realized we needed to raise more money. And if you have no money, no one's going to lend you money. So try forgetting the banks. And then the granting cycle is really challenging, because you write a grant, you never know if you get it. You might find out in 6 months or 9 months or maybe a year from now. And so we were just like, we're here, we're now, we got to kind of move with this. And so we decided to do a crowdfunding campaign on the Indiegogo platform. And if anyone has any particular questions about running one, please reach out in detail. For sure, I have more details to share about that. Don't want to get into too many, but you do need a team. That's absolute a must. You cannot run this alone. This is a solid undertaking. You need a video, you need your promos, you need your perks ready, you need to have communication on board, people who can do social media and all. That was a solid preparation of a few months actually to set it up. Then during the campaign for 1 month, it was crazy busy. There were interviews, there were perks, so you had to see people. And then, so we raised all the money we set out to do, and actually surpassed our goal. And we had money all of a sudden with $18,000. We're like, whoa, okay, now we can start really looking for places we can sign a lease. And so once we've then signed a lease, we held more tool drives because we wanted more tools. And then tool drives, it's like you get a ton of donations, but some people just drop off everything in their kitchen sink. Really, they're just great. It's like a big dumpster, right? And you're like, whoa, I don't know if we need that picture frame, but okay. And so then you need to start sorting through it and cleaning it up and figuring all that out. And then even the cataloging takes a while. So we open up our location at that time in the city center. We're currently at a different location, and we open up with 250 tools in our inventory, which we thought was amazing. We're like, oh my God, that's a lot of tools. We now have over 2,500 tools in our inventory. We're huge. It's really, we have everything from hand tools, power tools, kitchen tools, and garden tools. And we have just relocated during COVID. I know we didn't have anything else to do, so we figured, let's do that. Not really. There's actually a whole big story to that as well. But we found a new location. We've been doing construction during COVID, even juggling that, right? Like even having all the different trades people, and no one wants to come in when the others are in because everyone's trying to be in their own bubble. But we finally opened up for curbside pickup only in May 12th actually. And today we're opening up 5 days a week. And so it's finally, we're back in business, really. I mean, yes, you're running a not-for-profit social enterprise, but it's a business operation. You need to make money. You need to be able to pay the bills. You need to pay rent and the insurance, very, very expensive, and make sure that everything drives. So that's sort of my quick intro to it. I would really like to open up the floor to any questions. I have so much information in my head and I can tell you way more, but I wanted to be specific to what people want to know as well. I'm wondering if anyone is out there amongst you who is actually interested in starting one, or has thought about it, or has any particular questions. Maybe put them in the chat or join us on camera. I'd love to see you.
Before people post questions in the chat or ask them, I was wondering, like, what is your number one piece of advice? If I wanted to start a tool library tomorrow, like, where do I start?
Oh, my number one advice is start talking to friends, start talking to people you know who care about you and will give you honest feedback and go, this is crazy, or yeah, you know what, this is kind of cool idea. I might want to help you out with this. And then you need to start building a team. As I was mentioning before, there's no way you won't be able to sustain it. Even I'm surrounded by an amazing team. We've now been in operation for 6 years, and some people are still here from day one. It's incredible. And so I rely on them heavily. I'm the executive director, only really kind of by default, because we're like, yeah, let's go and run with this. Frederick and I started it, and then it was 4 people, and then it was 6, and then it was 20, and we now have probably a solid volunteer team of over 40 people. And when we do events, that's even more. So last year, we've already been in COVID for a year. So we also actually brought repair cafes to the city. And those are events where people can come with an item that is broken, and that often nowadays you don't even know how to repair it. You can't even find anything. You can't even find a person who could repair it, because you bought an IKEA light stand and like a standing light, and the switch goes, and well, it was only $25. I'll just buy another one. No, don't throw it out. It's really, actually, you can fix it, and you can bring it to the repair cafe. Keep it out of the landfill. Keep things in use. There's so much more that we can do in sharing resources, making it better for your pocketbook, saves you money, it's better for the environment, better for the community. And so the tool library was primarily sort of around that. That was sort of our focus, but we also wanted to make sure that people don't only just have access to the resources, but also the knowledge and the skills. So when we were open, we have tool ninjas with us. So these are people who are experienced, who maybe built their own house or their own deck, or they've ran their own company or whatever it is, construction company. And they come and they're willing to share their wisdom and knowledge. So they're on the floor. You come in. Nowadays, lots of people see things on Pinterest or wherever, right? They're like, oh, I want to build this jungle gym for my kids in the backyard, and I need these 400 tools. Well, I'm exaggerating now. And then so the tool ninja will then help you. They go, okay, let's break this down. Step 1. Okay, this week you're going to take this. Next week, come back. And then tell me how it went and where you're going. And so they can help you and give you some project advice. And then the other people who are involved are tool doctors. We have actually a tool hospital at the tool library where all our donations go. They get triaged there. It's truly a hospital. We figure out, does this need repair? Is this good to use? Oh no, this just needs a little cleaning up, and we can put it in the inventory. Or on the other hand as well, we now have so many tools because we've become so renowned for tools. Oh my God, we get so many donations, and we tell everybody we will try to use in our inventory, but we also work with many not-for-profits around the city, lots of community gardens who approach us and go, hey, we're starting one up in the neighborhood. Do you have extra rakes? Do you have a wheelbarrow? Do you have other tools? And we then pass on those donations. And if really nothing else, then we end up selling them in our web store, which is truly, the web store is the silver lining of COVID, because we used to do a garage sale. We were part of the Great Leap Garage Sale every year. And was it last year? I'm already all confused about COVID. Was it a year and a half ago? Anyways, when the Great Leap Garage Sale in May was canceled, we decided to then put everything online. And so we now have a web store. So if you're ever looking for a tool, because certain tools sometimes are really, you actually need them in your house because you're doing this repair regularly or whatever. You want this tool, you can buy those tools. Anything you find on our web store has been checked by our tool doctor. It's safe to use, it's cleaned up, and it's ready to go. Sorry, now I talk too much. You asked me one question. You see, I have so much information. So sorry. If there are any other questions, please ask me. And also feel free to drop by the kiosk, reach out to me with a private message. Always happy to chat, happy to collaborate. That's sort of why I'm here for. I was like, are there people in here we want to collaborate with? Actually, a fabulous collaboration that happened recently was when we signed the lease for our new space. We knew it was really too big for the tool library, and we thought, oh, we have extra space. We should maybe offer that to someone else in our community who might want to, who would be a good fit with us. And so we've been really excited that actually one of our tool ninjas decided to start an outdoor gear library. His name is Chris Osler, who is here today. And he is part of the tool library. Like, he's in the same building, but he has his own door and everything else. So he's just starting up, he's getting going. And that's been really great for us too, to be able to share all the little pitfalls and stressors that we encountered, right? And to help him get going, kind of skip over those little hurdles and get up pretty fast, up and running. So come and check out the sharing libraries in Ottawa. We're at 8778 Boyd Avenue, and we'd love to see you.
Question in the chat from Emilie. I don't know if you saw it.
Yes. Oh, well, yes. Thank you. Emily, welcome. I actually checked into your session early on too. So really lovely to see you. I'm excited to see that something that what you're trying to get going in Gatineau, which is fabulous. So we use a software. It's called My Turn. It is used by 99% of all lending libraries in the world, actually, because it's a movement that goes around the globe by now. It started in the States, but it's now everywhere. And happy to chat with you a bit more if you want any details on that, contacts, or how to get going on it, and send me a private message or put it in the chat. I'm happy to get connected. myturn.com. You can also look it up. Are there any other questions? Oh, where is your tool library? Oh, sorry, what is your website? I just saw it, David. Thank you. So, so our tool library is currently located, we just are reopening at 877A Boyd Avenue, which is actually in Westboro. So it is off Carling Avenue. If you know where the Canadian Tire is in Westboro, it's Carling and Kirkwood area, Maitland, and we're right behind it. There's a little industrial area. We're there. And it says Boyd Avenue, but the building's actually on the corner of Boyd and Dobie, and our entrance is actually via Dobie Street. So come and see us. And the website is ottawatoollibrary.com. We also actually do a ton of workshops, and we're starting again with this now. We're doing a drop-in bike maintenance on the 30th of June. We're doing every last Wednesday. We do it in the summer usually, every last Wednesday of the month. You can come with your bike. We have bike stands, we have bike tools that were donated from a bike mechanic before, so we're fully set up. And actually 2 of our ninjas are bike mechanics as well, and they're avid bikers and love to share those skills. So you can come and bring your bike, and sometimes you need to check over your brakes, or something goes click 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 when you're shifting gears. They can help you, and it's about you learning skills to help yourself. So you're not dropping it off. So it's not like they're going to do it for you, but they're there to help you and teach you how to do it. So come on by. If you know that you need certain parts, we're not a parts store. You need to come, you need to get that part. And sometimes people have come, they figure out, oh, I need a new derailleur. They order it and they come around the next time, and then we install it with them. So those are the things that we do. We are also starting to opening up for other workshops, because we have a workspace at the tool library. So if you live in housing where you can bring tools home, and let's say you want to use a table saw because you're building a headboard for your bed or whatever, you want to come and use that in our workspace. And that's not up and running yet. We're still waiting for a little bit more settlement. And plus, actually, it's still full of donations. We're still sorting through boxes of donations, so no space yet, but it's coming, because in July we're opening up then for workshops as well in there. And then you will be able to find those on our website as well.
I have 1 more minute. Are there any other questions? If not, I was wondering what your favorite story is since you opened.
Oh my gosh. There are so many. Oh God, I don't even know where to start. But I guess in the spirit of this gathering, we've had members, and who have, they're in we're all connected nowadays. And so this member was from an area that was hit by a hurricane in I forgot the name of it, Oscar or whatever. Anyways, one of the big hurricanes on one of the islands. And they were in great need of tools, because they were rebuilding. They didn't have construction companies coming. And so she had connections down there. Was a part of her family was living down there. And she decided to actually bring tools down. And so we packed up 4 huge boxes, put them on crates, and these were all tool donations that came from Ottawa. And this woman actually paid for it all, and she ended up shipping them down there. And then we have pictures of people like so happy about getting a hammer, because people lost their whole houses. Everything was gone, right? How do you even start? And so that's one of the great stories that I love. But there's so many more. There's, we teach courses for kids, and kids learning those skills, because nowadays there's no more wood shops in school. I grew up, I had a wood shop in my school, and we had to do this, build a little thing and whatever. Kids don't know how to help themselves anymore. These are skills that are not passed on, and you do need those. These are really important skills. And it's not only it's also for self-confidence. Like those kids are so stoked. Everyone, really, it doesn't matter what age group, even a 70-year-old. We had a 76-year-old grandma coming, and she wanted to make wands from, when Harry Potter was like super in. She had like 3 grandkids, and she brought 3 chair legs, and then she found a chair in the garbage. She took the chair legs out, and she wanted to make wands for her grandkids, and she did. She learned she used all kinds of great tools, oscillating sanders and all these great tools. And we have pictures of her sitting there with like 3 of those, magic wands, and her kids loved it. So right. And even she was so proud. She's like, oh my God, my husband never let me touch his tools, but now look at me, I did it. So this is that sense of accomplishment and pride and self-esteem that goes with that too, when you look at something that you've created with your hands. So yeah.
That's awesome. I think that's a beautiful, beautiful note to end on. Everyone that's here, you can find Bettina at her own kiosk if you want to keep talking with her at her own booth. She has so much more wisdom to share. So that's all for this little workshop. Thank you, everyone. Merci énormément à tout le monde. Merci à toi, Bettina. Et puis, bon après-midi.
Thank you for helping. Thanks, Elizabeth. Bye. Thanks for coming, everybody.